Watford and you're bringing 600 of people coming just to support you, you're feeling like the king, innit? Like to each other, for 6 rounds, got out, and I just thought, what am I doing this for, man? Do you know what? Yeah, it's a fucked up sport. Think about Stella by the end of that. Like, by the end of the third, I was like, Christmas dinner in a can and
looking
that.
a bit.
You wouldn't even know you were boxing. I'd be looking at you, I'd be like, staring you down.
Man, is that
my bicep bigger than your bicep? I'll be getting C going into Wenzel's, you know what I mean? You can either stay in that pit or you can just pick up your boots and go for it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I'm doing, man.
Yeah. We're gonna get cup. We're gonna get coasters.
Getting mugs and coasters.
Yeah, I'd have to buy one. I can't lie. I'll fully get one. Innit? It's like rocking it at work and that.
We're rolling. Hello and welcome to Fijian the Ginge. We got a really, really special guest. I'm your host Diaz.
I'm the co-host Liam.
If you can't guess already, the boy from Luton,
The fearless,
putting boxing on the map, carrying the town on his shoulders. 62 amateur fights, Box for England Alliance, Stop the Mexican in Mexico. It's Frankie Storey, 1-0 professional as well.
What's happening? Well, cool, yeah. There were not to say, but
what's happened with the old hand? Is that from the fight?
That's from my debut, innit? So I caught him. I think it was in the third round.
Yeah.
Like it was a shot that I put him down with, and I just felt it go boom. And then it was only afterwards, because obviously my eye got cut in the first round. I thought, shit, like. What? It's my hand that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
no, because I see for the context, he just come off his first professional fight. He absolutely smashed it in front of what, 4? I'm saying there was 500-600 people.
yeah, there was originally
Really?
600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
600?
From Luton.
Yeah,
there
from
was
Luton.
Travelling
600.
fans.
Yeah, just from Luton.
Travelling fans.
Away days.
Travelling fans. Like, feel like McGregor.
They're the Shamrock
Feel like
sound.
McGregor, like, literally.
The song he come out to was Bouncing, man. It was the perfect song to come out to because it's one of them songs where everyone can
What did he
get
come
behind
out to?
Yeah.
Hey,
baby.
Ooh, ah.
Did you pre-plan that knowing it was going to go off?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, my granddad loves that song, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it was more like, it was a gesture for me, like, he loved it, yeah, and he should have been there, and obviously he passed away, like, a few years ago,
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
But, obviously, Sweet Caroline gets rinsed.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Like, a lot of songs like that, they just get rinsed, and I thought, right, I want to just try and get the crowd going. Everyone thought it was going to come out to, like, Eminem, innit, like, lose yourself. Do you know what I mean? Coming out like
Lose yourself to the music.
Yeah,
You do look like an Eminem fan, though. I can imagine
nah,
to Eminem.
nah,
Especially he had the
nah.
braids. He had the braids all in and everything.
Listen, it was
I can
either that or
imagine.
Sean Paul temperature with the braids, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I was going to come out with Sean Paul, but then
That'd have
I
been
bottled
Shine
that.
the bar.
Everyone catching wines with that.
Yeah,
that,
for
all that.
real. But yeah, then Hey Baby, come on, and it was perfect, man. Before the drop even came, like I literally just looked and thought, fucking hell, there's like 1,000 people here and they're all going nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
mental in there. Even when Ticey fought as well, it was it was mad.
That's what it's all about,
And imagine
man.
that on your first pro fight, coming out to what 500-600 people. There must have been, there was more than 600 people in there, but 600 people from Luton.
Yeah.
That must have been. What was the feeling like in
Did
there?
you feel under pressure? Obviously, bringing that many people from Luton, did you
A
feel
lot.
more pressure?
Oh,
do you
know
think?
what it is? Yeah, like so many people ask me this question, yeah, and it's like, nah, like I don't feel under pressure because,
Do you feel like you've trained right, so you feel
Yeah.
good?
yeah, to an extent it's like that, but it's like I've been doing it since I was 11, yeah, so it's more like you know me, Liam, like we play football together for a long time, yeah, like
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's more like that's all I've ever known, innit? Like literally going boxing, like from work, going to the boxing club, and then going straight to going home, innit, and eating and basically getting ready to all like the next day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I do it like 6 days a week, and it's just your life, innit? Like I don't know
yeah,
anything else. Like
Do you feel like the amateurs helped with the pressure then? Obviously, having 62 amateur fights, that's like that.
Used to fight in front of a crowd from a young age.
Yeah, having people there.
Yeah, I mean, like you're fighting from a young age of 11, and I'm 22 now. So obviously, each fight you get into, whether it's a championship fight in the amateurs or even your debut, there's always going to be somewhat pressure.
Yeah.
But you get used to it over the shows as an amateur. So obviously 62 fights.
Yeah.
I got shipped out to like different countries. I think it was like 6 countries I went to in my amateur career. and boxing tournaments out there, and coping with that sort of pressure when you're down the road in Watford and you're bringing 600 of people coming just to support you. You're feeling like the king, innit? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, because you're going to Mexico, to like the slums, and it's rough.
What
man.
was that like?
Yeah, it was rough, man. Yeah, the first, I went
That was the WBC one, wasn't it?
Yeah, so basically there's two boxing organisations in England, so you've got England Boxing, and then you've got an opposing organisation called the Alliance, So I was boxing for Finchley at the time, and they were basically the head sort of club in the Alliance, so they sort of split away from England Boxing. So I left Luton, and I went to Finchley, and I basically started my journey down in London, boxing in London clubs, and I just got loads of opportunities through it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people say, "Oh, like it wasn't for you and all that," but like, who's ever going to be taken to Mexico like free of charge?
Twice?
Free of charge?
Yeah,
all covered by the club.
Got covered by like the organisation and that, and they looked after their boxers, and it's they're the things that. I know a lot of fighters, they say, "Oh," I go, "Why didn't you turn in pro?" They goes, "Why would I when I can go to Mexico every year, or I can go do this, go do that?" Like, so people stay with GB, they stay with, because they're getting good opportunities. Like once you leave that, you're on your own again, innit? Do you know what I mean? So,
with the going pro, obviously people would say you've turned pro young. Like 22 is quite young to turn pro, really.
Yeah.
But what influenced your decision to go pro?
It's more like, you're 11, like I say, when you're 11 years of age, you have aspirations, you have dreams, and obviously COVID come in, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was at sort of a crossroads. I was like, right, what do I do? Do I stay at Finchley, and COVID might, who knows how long COVID's going to be? It could be here for 6 years, and I could become, coming up to my 30s and thinking, right, what do? Do I stop? Because no one knows what life's going to come. No one knows what's going to happen in life. So I just thought, let's just see how we go, innit? But my trainer Sean, he said to me, look, I think it's about time you start thinking about turning pro. And then when I made the decision to, he was like, yeah, right, this is it now. Like, you can go. And what people don't realise is when you do turn professional, like, when you're in a club, you're like, say you box at Finchley or Hoddesdon or Farley Hill, like, that's your club, innit? Like, you're like passionate about that club, and all the people that box that club, they're your boys, like they're your squad, innit? Basically, But as soon as you leave, you realise when you go into a professional club, it's more like everyone's against everyone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You're training.
Free for all.
You're training.
You're just like...
You're training with the people next to you, but you could be fighting them people as well at the same time.
That's it. Like, you could be sparring people, and although you're cool with them, you do think you could be fighting for a southern area within 3 years. Like,
does that go across your mind when you're sparring these boys and you think at one point I might actually have to try and knock you out?
Yeah, all the time, man. And after, but it's just, do you know what? Yeah, it's a fucked up sport. Like. It's, you know what it is? I'm sorry, like, people, it's just so fucked. Like, you be smashing the shit out of each other for like 6 rounds. At the end of it, you're just like just talking about normal everyday
taking a photo of each other.
I've always wondered
I had this spar, like a few months ago against this guy, and we had it off for like 6 rounds.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, can you drop me to the tube station?" Yeah. And I got speaking to him. I just got into know his whole life within like this whole journey to the tube station. And he got out, and he shut the door. And I just thought, this is fucking weird. Like, we battered each other, for 6 rounds. Got out, and I just thought, what am I doing this for, man? You know what I mean?
All busted up as well, like red.
Yeah. All like little marks on my face from sparring, and he's gotten off like with his little gym bag, going off to the underground, like,
and you're just chilling after it. It's
chilling,
weird.
talking shit, man. Like, it's just nuts. It's just such a weird job.
It is
like,
a weird.
job,
it is such a weird concept, isn't it?
It is. But with the eye cut, did that affect the fight? That was in round 1. I'm sure it was in round 1.
Let's not start with that.
Because when I see it, I was thinking, I think you've come out of a clinch, and then I'm not sure if it was his arm or his head, but it was one of them, and I seen it straight away. It just like, and I was like, oh shit, that don't look fucking good.
Yeah, you're on the right line. So. Obviously, I threw a left hand. I got mad excited because obviously the crowd was going nuts. Got mad excited. You know what I mean? I get mad excited. Little ADHD head on me. And then I threw a 1-2, but I overextended. And as his head went back, I caught him clean. As his head went back, I sort of like over-engaged. And I didn't even feel it happen. Like, your adrenaline's so high.
Do you know what? I actually saw something about Tyson Fury said that the other day, and they were saying about when Deontay Wilder knocked him down.
Yeah.
And he was saying you can't actually feel it at the time because you're so fired up. 1 minute you're there, and then you're on the floor. You don't even feel the punch.
It's just nuts, mate. It's more like you're so reared up. It's like the only way I can describe it is like looking through a cone. Yeah, like everyone's there. Yeah. But you're at the bottom of the cone, innit? Like, it's just so weird, isn't it? Like, you can hear everything, yeah? And it's like, it's so intense.
That is the weirdest analogy I've ever heard. I've never heard that analogy.
But it's just weird. It's like, you've got this guy and he's like, he's trying to...
Is all the noise and stuff like that just kind of like... Like, you can hear it, but it's not like... Obviously, I'm in the crowd shouting, thinking, Frankie, Frankie, but you're not hearing it like that. It's all a bit like...
That's interesting.
It's intense, man. Like it's more like your hyper, your senses heighten.
Yeah.
Like, over like... You know, people say, obviously, adrenaline's a drug. It's a natural high, yeah?
Yeah.
But it's more like that... It's adrenaline, but your senses are that heightened that it's times 10. More. So, when people are shouting... Your hearing stimulating's more like fucking hell. Like, I can literally hear everyone.
Yeah.
But then there's only certain things you can hear. Is your cornerman, your dad, or someone that's close to you. You can hear them.
So you recognise their voice.
Yeah, because you sort of you can tune into like certain people. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But with the hand, was that like? So you're saying it was round 3 that happened?
Yeah, round 3.
Was you were up anyway because you dropped him in that round?
Yeah.
Was that from like dropping him or something like that?
It was.
Or
there's a little clip of me. I backed him onto the ropes with my jab. I caught him with 2 straight lefts, and it was the second left it popped, and as soon I knew straight away. I thought, oh no! Like, I felt a click, and I felt it sort of like you can kind of feel your hands bust.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. They kind of like spread, and yeah, man. I just thought, we're going to have to go for him. Caught him with a right hook, come with the left and put him down. Then I had another round to go. But if you watch over on the video again, like, I'm not as active in the last round.
No.
I've warmed into it nice, but I had to play it safe because they were saying to me in the corner, like, you know, you could try and finish him or...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, like, are you all right in that? Like, but... In my head, I was thinking, I was going to play it safe. I got a bad hand.
Yeah, no, because I thought that in the last round, but I thought the last round was more, obviously I didn't know about your hand or anything like that. I thought it was more because of because you were going for him so much in the third, you might have gassed out a tiny little bit.
Yeah. Nah, man. It's hard to say. Maybe if there was if it was 5 or 6 rounds, gassed out maybe because of the occasion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's 600 people there. It's your debut. You want to impress.
Yeah.
But fitness-wise, I was on form, man.
Fine,
I felt really good, and I felt I could have went probably another 2 rounds out of push, but that would have been that.
Was you glad then? It was...
I was thinking about a Stella by the end of that. By the end of the third, I was like,
Was you glad it was only 4 round things? So I remember speaking to you beforehand. It was meant to be. You wanted it at 6.
Oh shit!
You wanted it at 6. They only give you 4.
Yeah.
Was you glad then in the end how things played out? Sort of.
Kind of. The thing is, it's with 4 rounds, you know, in the amateurs you're boxing for 3 rounds, yeah? So you've got to start fast. But if you've got 6 rounds, you've got more time to not slack, but you've got more time to think. You've got more time to pick what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you can pace it a lot more. But I'm more of a longer round fighter, I think, personally. Like, I warm into it a lot.
Yeah.
In the later durations, and I think that's why I'll do well as a pro because hopefully if I don't get caught the first round or first 3 rounds, innit? But if I warm into it, I usually get going really well. So.
Yeah. So the show that was meant to be on the 4th, obviously you wouldn't have been fighting in it anyway.
Nah, it wasn't that.
But was the eye the issue as well? Would you not been fighting just because of the eye? Say if the hand didn't happen.
I don't know, mate. If I'm honest with you, it looks quite big, to be honest with you. It looks like
does.
a big scar tissue. And obviously, this is my first cut in my ever. Do you know, even in the amateurs as well. So I didn't really know how I was going to heal. I didn't really know. But we had a discussion, me and my manager, and I said to him, like, mate, it's not even my eye. Like, it's my hand.
Yeah.
And even now, it's been, 2 weeks. I've got tendonitis in my wrist. And also, you've got a bone called the scaphoid.
Yeah.
Which is... you've got like a little bit on your hand here, and in there you have a bone, and it's basically from impact. and it could be fractured. So I've got to go to a fracture clinic next week.
Christ,
So Christmas is looking a bit, you know what I mean? It's Christmas dinner in a can.
It's looking a bit. Throw bent off.
You know what I mean? But Christmas dinner in a can this year, man. So I ain't getting no turkey or trimmings and that. So
it's looking like a little Yates Christmas Eve one.
You trust me? There you go. No
2 bottles of wine.
Yeah,
2 bottles of wine.
Oh.
And a straw.
No, that's good. But let's take it back to when you first started boxing. Then,
Yeah.
who got you involved in boxing from the beginning?
Yeah. Well, I'm from a boxing family. Like, obviously, I know my dad. You know my dad very well.
Yeah.
So he had I think he had 114 fights, and he only lost 12 out of 114. Yeah.
He's a tough guy.
He's a little stocky guy, man.
Yeah, he is. He's
a little Frankenstein, isn't
He's got that proper
bowling ball,
Luton.
like Tasmanian devil looking piece. Yeah, man, for real. He had 114, lost 12. Boxed for England, was in a lot of their major teams, and he won 6 national titles. He just smashed it out, man. I can remember going to amateur shows as a kid, and people bare people knowing him and that.
Yeah.
And obviously when you're young, you're thinking that's just my dad, isn't it? You don't really see it as much as anything. You just see then as you get older, and as I started getting involved in boxing, people always go, "Oh, is that your dad?" And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad and that. And then you sort of realise, it's in your blood, it's in your genes, you know that you got something there.
So was it love at first sight sort of thing? As soon as you started, was it I love it? With us with football, first time you played, it's
you love it.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Was it like that with you with boxing?
Kind of. It was more because I was in and out of boxing clubs from probably about the age of 7. I'd go, when you're a kid, you'd go, I don't know, karate, and then you'd stop, and then and then you'd stop. You know what I mean? Looking to become Jet Li, then you stop. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I went to Farley Hill Boxing Club, and I just got in there, man. And it was Farley Hill Boxing Club. If people watch this and they know what it was like there, man. You had to go there, set up all the boxing equipment. Yeah. I'm not joking. Put poles in the ground. Yeah. These little, I don't know what it was. 4 poles in the ground. Set the ropes up, and there was no matting on the floor. It was concrete, thing to spar on.
Was it?
And I went in there. I thought that was normality. Yeah. So I go to some other boxing club and I'm thinking, nah, man, this is rough. Yeah. But that's what makes you think you're proud of that.
Yeah.
Anyone can achieve in boxing. Do you know what I mean? And when I was young, when I was starting out for the first time, it was only until I sparred, I thought I love this. It's exciting. It's not you get up every day, brush your teeth, go to work. This was, to me, it was exciting. It was a new buzz for me. Because obviously I was playing football for a long time.
Yeah.
And just found a new love for it, innit? Straight away from sparring. It wasn't really from hitting the bag or anything. It was actually doing it.
Sparring, yeah. But that's what I mean. That's the one thing with boxing. It's probably the one sport where it's you can come from any... Well, no, people that come from the tougher walks of life probably do a bit better. They've got a bit more of that drive.
A bit more grit. They seem to have more grit.
Yeah.
More determination to sort of almost they want to try and prove people wrong and get to the top.
Jordan's and me, it was more... When I was younger, I was a lot more like that. But as you get older, you soon realise this is a gentleman's sport.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to have some sort of a level of it's either me or you.
You've got to have an edge, didn't you?
And you always have that inside you. You have it sort of built inside you as a fighter. But as you get older, it's a gentleman's sport, and then you start to respect people a bit more. But when I was a kid, man, reckless. I mean, if I was at a show, I'd be looking at you in the changing rooms, you wouldn't even know you were boxing. I'd be looking at you, I'd be staring you down, and you get in the ring, and it's not even you. Do you know?
Just sizing people up.
Yeah, and then he must be thinking this guy ain't even
he's tapped. He's nuts.
Yeah, I'm in the changing room looking at him and you get in, you're complete opposite person, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just crazy.
What made you go from so you started in Farley, and then did you go to Luton? Was it Luton Boxing
Luton
Club?
Academy Boxing Club, yeah.
And then from there to Finchley.
Do you have to get scouted for Finchley? How does that work?
Nah. So basically, how boxing clubs work is you basically just go to them, yeah.
So you can just go.
You can just go. So amateur boxing clubs, it's just sort of like going to a football club, isn't it? But what tends to happen is if you're decent, you get looked after. Especially in the bigger clubs in London. I don't care what anyone says. Whoever watches this, that's what happens, man.
Yeah.
If you go to a good club, you have to sort of shine in it. So it's sort of like survival of the fittest, isn't it? You've got to grind your way to get the pads. You've got to grind your way to spar. But at Farley Hill, it was more like it was a smaller club. Everyone sort of got looked after.
Yeah.
Same as at the academy, there was sort of like the bunch that was there. You know, me, Ticey, Callum, and like, we was their main fighters. So we'd get put on the shows. We was like the boxers, the carded boxers that get looked after. And then when I went to Finchley, it was sort of the same thing. But yeah, like I say, you got to grind your way to get your pads. You got to basically prove your worth in the bigger clubs. And then they chuck you out into championships, fights, and that. And that's where it mainly all starts. I think you can start anywhere and get somewhere, and you can achieve in boxing, man. Do you know what I mean? Like it was massive for me to go to another club and spar when I was 11. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm sitting here, I want to know as a professional, had like 62 amateur fights, like, and I never thought I'd get this far.
Yeah,
you know,
Finchley.
Yeah.
What was it like boxing in your first, like? Well, it might not even have been at Finchley. I think it was at Luton Academy, wasn't it? Like boxing for your first sort of big title, like in the ABAs or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I boxed in Farley Hill, like in the ABAs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I only had 6 fights. Yeah, I only had 6 fights, and I made the semi-finals of the nationals, like out of the whole country.
Yeah.
And I boxed a boy from Repton who had 25 fights already, and like I lost on a split decision. I'll never forget it, man. It was the worst feeling ever. My first loss.
Yeah.
I come out. I was what was I? Yeah, like 12. Bawled my eyes out in the middle of Portsmouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like crying. My dad just come up to me and was like, "It's all cool." All the trainers coming up to me. It's all cool. But like when you're a kid, yeah, and that's happened. Like it's traumatic, man. You're like, I never thought I was gonna lose. Like I thought I was.
Invincible. You feel like you're invincible when you're young.
And then it's from them losses, then you take a step back, and then you learn, innit? You think, right, go back to the drawing board. What do I do?
No, it literally is win or learn.
Literally,
it
in
literally
the amateurs,
is.
I feel like this.
Yeah,
yeah. I think, but in the pros, I think it's different because I don't know. You can have a couple L's on your record, but hopefully they're later on down the line.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You want to have a nice winning record where you're boom, boom.
No, because this is what I feel like with, well, this is like with the Anthony Joshua thing. Obviously, you trained with him and stuff like that at Finchley.
Of course.
But with the Floyd Mayweather going like 50-0 and all this 0, and now it's like the pressure is on fighters when they're pros. It's like as soon as you lose one fight, it's over, which is not.
And people do sort of look at it now, like if AJ don't win,
his career's done.
They're saying his career's over.
You got me on Snapchat and you see me going on that mad rant. Because
it's how the world's going.
I don't like that though, man.
This is boxing, like, and it's not like, you know, there's always going to be that pocket of people that, you know, what John from I don't know, Derby is giving Joshua a stick because he hasn't thrown the left hand, like. It's massive pressure, especially at that level, yeah. Like, you can't stay at an elite level like that for that long. Do you know what I mean? At some point, someone's gonna. Every dog has its day, basically. Do you know what I mean? Every dog will get their chance, and Usyk obviously proved the better.
And you're fighting the best of the best. You're not fighting no scrubs.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're fighting the best of the best, and if you lose, there is nothing wrong in life with losing.
You learn more.
Especially
You learn
to the
more
best
when you
of the
lose.
best.
You learn more
That's
when
it.
you
I
lose.
mean,
Anyway.
even with football, like you get to the Champions League final, you lose to the best team in the world. There's nothing. Obviously, you don't want to lose. No one wants to lose, but you wouldn't go to a professional footballer. You should retire now. You lost the Champions League final, retire. No, bruv.
And you wouldn't with any other sport apart from sort of combat sports. But even in the UFC though.
No, but in the UFC it's not really
it's
like a lot of the champions have.
No one really looks at Conor McGregor badly, does he? That much, I don't think. And he's had quite a few.
And he's had a few losses. Yeah.
I think it's more like that's why they say like boxing's the most loneliest sport in the world because, you know, who goes to the park, puts a pair of boxing gloves and goes, right, let's have a fight. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
these context are so
I love it. It's good.
Like, you can get your pair of football boots on and play football. Yeah. But like, not many people know what it's like to get in there and actually think, right, me and you are gonna have an actual fight. Yeah. But not only that, it's more like Me and you are actually gonna have an Asian fight.
He's looking straight in my eyes and he's like, "We're gonna have a fight." I don't like
because it's more like it's me or you. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, because although it's a sport, it can be a livelihood as well. Like,
and I feel like as a well, it's the same for women, but I feel like as a man, there's a lot of ego.
Yeah.
There's probably
mate.
nothing worse than getting beaten up or losing a fight to another man, is there?
my bicep bigger than your bicep.
But do you know what I mean? So to get in there and have the balls to do it, man, you can only take your hat off to people. Like, I've never been in there to do it, so I wouldn't want to comment on. Obviously, I do comment on things like if I think this person would beat this person, that's fine. But you can't be saying
that's a matter of opinion.
You lost to Usyk, retire.
Yeah.
But
no.
do you think he's taken the second fight a bit too soon? Do you think he's...
I don't know, man. Do you know what? He's obviously got his team, he's got his management, and he's got his coaches. But only the fighter can say that themselves, innit? Like, I don't know what's going through his head. But he has the pressure of a whole country. And like, he's basically made boxing for this country. Like, everyone knows Anthony Joshua, innit? Everyone. Like, you can go down wherever, and if you say Anthony Joshua, they'll know who he is.
He's a superstar. He's a superstar.
Man. So regardless, I've got to take my hat off to him, whatever he chooses to do, man. So
who do you think would really win the fight out of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? Honestly,
yeah, I've got Tyson Fury, man. I think 100%. Can't lie about it. I love Tyson Fury. I love Tyson Fury, mainly just because of his fighting.
You're
style.
a big Tyson Fury fan, though, man.
I am.
You're a big Tyson Fury fan.
I do like Tyson Fury. I like them both, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like them both.
Just a matter of an opinion, isn't it?
But I just feel like his fighting style is more like what I like, innit?
I almost feel like when I'm watching Tyson Fury, like he's just having a scrap sometimes. So some of his punches are like just like I can't explain it, but
he hits a bit weird, doesn't he? He kind of like
pause him a bit,
really short punches, and like it's almost like he's just having a scrap in town somewhere.
Yeah. That's weird. Like, he's had a couple of like special brews.
I can't explain it, but it works obviously for him.
Of course, mate.
And he's obviously got power behind them hands.
Any heavyweight has got power, innit? Any 15, 16, 17 stone man
when they come in against the Franks, I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them that straight left to the body. But I won't be putting them down, put it that way.
Well, he might be, man.
I doubt that. But for me, I think Tyson Fury is an inspiration more than anything, just from his stories. Yeah, from his background stories, and he's obviously been through a lot, and he's come out the other side. So massive inspiration. And people say, this way I've got to back Joshua up because he didn't even need to like come with a story like that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He was the Don Dada anyway. Do you know what I mean? He proved himself as a fighter, innit? Yeah. So that's what I mean, man. I've got to take my hat off to like both of them, innit? So
yeah. But while we're on the topic of having a story, you obviously lost your mum in 2019.
Yes.
How did that impact? Obviously, it impacted everything, but how did it impact, like, with your boxing and your home life, and how have you managed to deal with that?
Yeah, man, tough. And this is a thing that people don't see. It's more, people just see you as the fighter, but they don't see, the hardest thing is going back to normality of, you've got a family, you've got a brother. I want to get a girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a hard thing for a fighter to do. Is to go from the fighter to back to home life. But to be honest, it was more like I made my mum a promise, like in her last moments, innit? And it was just basically to win her a title. Yeah. And whether it's small title, world title, European, do you know what I mean? Anything, like just go for that goal. And that's how in my head now I'm just like, boom, that's what I want.
That's what I mean. When you come out,
that's really good.
When you come out and I see your shorts and it said mum on it, I was just like sitting there. I was like, I nearly fucking teared up. When I see it.
It is quite emotional
because obviously I was around with you around the time. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, man.
And it was like. It was just obviously no one can imagine losing anyone close in your family. Well, anyone at all is hard, but especially someone like your mum or something like that. And obviously, I just take my hat off to you because I feel like you've dealt with it in such a good way.
I think you've dealt with it really well.
People can go like certain people. Obviously, everyone deals things with different ways, and some people can go like down, and it can just drag everything down, and some people can sort of rise up. So I just take my hat off to you, man.
I agree, and it's more. this is life, man. This is humanity. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, we're not promised tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why, for me personally, I'll get in there, I'll get in the ring, and I just think I might not be here tomorrow, so let me just go for it.
You just leave it all out.
Yeah,
there.
leave it there. And every day I'm happy. I'm a positive guy because I know what it's like to be in them moments of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even now I'm feeling it. Like, you know how shit it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And it's tough, but for me, it's I could go on about it all day long, but you can either stay in that pit or you can just pick up your boots and go for it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I'm doing, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
I've got a lot of respect for that.
A lot of people can just go down the pub route, go down the sesh route, and look, like, you know me, look, I was already in that rut before.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I pulled myself out of the bag then, and basically just prove people wrong, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show people, like, I don't want to just be like someone you see down the pub getting mashed up every weekend.
Yeah.
Because I'm grieving over my mum. Like, I'm a fighter, innit? Like,
You want to make her
do
proud.
my thing, yeah, make her proud and stick to the promise.
But this is what I'm saying. This is why we started doing these sorts of things. Because people like yourself, like when I was thinking podcasting, my first thought that come into my head was interviewing Frankie. He's no one, like you said earlier when we were speaking off camera, people don't see this side of you, innit?
Nah,
like the funny side of you, the sad side of you. Do you know what I mean? Like you've
sensitive guy.
Yeah, this is what I mean. You're a human being
side. It's the human being side. It's the human being.
And that's why, like, I keep referring back to Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, like, they're superstars, yeah, but they have feelings, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and all fighters have feelings. Like, Mike Tyson, he used to cry before he used to go in the ring. Do you know what I mean? He was scared. But, like, he was a Don Dada.
It was like Darren.
You know what I mean? He was a Don Dada, mate. He was a king.
Bite your ear off when he's in the ring, though.
Trust me.
Yeah, 100%. Because obviously people don't like. Obviously, we know you, innit?
Yeah.
So like, you love going out, you love raving, you love the house music scene,
course.
like you love doing all these things. But people don't
man.
see this side of like an athlete or people doing positive things. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we wanted to bring to light.
Yeah, no, I'm happy you mentioned that because I have other things that I like as well. Obviously house music, and underground music, like that. That's my passion, man. I love music as well as fighting, fishing. You know what I mean? I like fishing, like, do you know what I mean? And like clothes, you know what I mean? I like my hair, just loads of things, man. And that's like, there's other sides to fighters that people don't see, and a lot of the time you'll be surprised that a lot of the time they're not actually that person, innit?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And that's why I just try and stay true and let people, like, show people that this is what I am, this is what I like. If I dress this way, I'll dress this way because I am.
Just being yourself.
I think that's why people like you so much.
No, it is,
because you are just very real.
Well,
you're super real,
so, man. But
no, you are really real.
Even like with my best friends and that, man, and like even yous. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never change.
No, you haven't.
Because when I'm 80 years old and I look back, and whether I make nothing out of boxing, whether I become a superstar, like, I always look back and think, I never tried to be someone I ain't.
And that's the perfect thing. That's exactly what I was going to say, because I feel like a lot of fighters. Well, I'm more of a UFC person. So when I watched the UFC, you had Conor McGregor, but people see it as his trash talking was so good. He was so good at getting under people. That was him. That was him. That is his personality. Like, he weren't putting on an act. That is him.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you were you, look at Darren Till now. He's himself. Like, talking about he didn't want to go out for one of his fights because he felt sick. He wanted to call the fight off right before his fight. But like, people relate to you being you, because you can see straight through people. You can see, if you put on an act, everyone here would see straight through it. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you, man.
But
like, I have nothing to hide, and like I say, at the end of my career and all the way through it, like, if someone doesn't like me for the way I am, or for whatever reason, like, in terms of I'm acting this way to get this sort of clout, like, that ain't me, man. Like, look, you'll see me at Fabric. Not every weekend. But you hear me, like, not every weekend, but you'll see me there after my fight. So you'll
little
see
bucket
me
hat on.
You get my little like Matrix glasses and that. Like, that's just the shit I like, innit? But yeah, like, I just gotta stay true, and that's that.
During like the higher you climb in boxing, though, the harder it will be to sort of go to things like fabric. Obviously, the higher you climb.
Of course, man.
You're getting swarmed in the rave. Imagine being hot, sweaty in the house music room, and you're just getting swarmed. Is that a big thing? Because once you start, like you said, once you start getting a bit up,
climbing.
would that be an annoying thing to you? Like people just coming up to you constantly and stuff like that.
Not really. Like, to be fair, like at the moment now, I'm not saying I'm famous, but I've had like a few people come up to me and like I've obviously said, "Oh, like you the guy that does the boxing and the boxings and that," you know what I mean? And like a few people ask me for photos and that, and it's nice, you know. It's nice that I'm getting recognised for my hard work after like 10 years or whatever it is since I've been boxing, and that's the sort of thing. It's nice because you think, wow, like. I never thought that would ever happen.
Yeah.
That must be an unreal feeling.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, you're a bit of a superstar around Luton anyway.
Nah.
Come on, you can't. This man can't just be bowling into town, you know.
You can't be getting see going into Wenzel's, you know what I mean? You get me, man.
Wenzel's, there is other bakeries available. All right,
there is. Wenzel's is the one, man.
Wenzel's, we need a sponsor for this man right here, boy.
With that.
Do you like Wenzel's?
Yeah, I love it.
I haven't been Wenzel's, man.
Food. Yeah, we get on the topic of food.
Yeah,
compared to Greg's, I don't think it compares. I think Greg's is shit compared to. Yeah, I think Greg's has gone right down here.
The Greg's sponsorship out the window. The Greg's sponsorship is out of the window.
What, cheese, bean, and whatever it is, melt, man. You mad? Nah.
Well, the cheese. Was it the sausage, bean, and cheese melt?
Yeah,
I actually like it. I actually don't mind the sausage. I don't mind that. Do you like that?
Dead out, that is some beer and stuff, bro.
I don't mind me a little sausage, bean, and cheese melt, you know, man.
Get out of
no
it.
palate.
No palate. Trust me, I'm talking a little bacon cheese turnover. You feel me?
Do you know what? They're not bad. I'll tell you what. If you catch Greg's at sort of like lunchtime, you can get like a nice slice of pizza.
What are you talking about, man?
Did you get a nice slice of pizza?
Got the right turnover.
But no, they can be actually quite cold as well if you get too late.
Yeah, it's a bit like Don Miller's. Remember Don Miller's?
Oh, Don Miller's, man.
Remember Don Miller's? Oh.
What's that?
It's in a shop in town, man, but it's just pure grots.
Really?
Well, it's not that grotty inside,
like
but it's
40p size of pizza.
It is grots.
What's that made out of?
Trust me, bro.
Plastic.
Fucking cement.
Carbon. I'm chewing on that, bro.
But while we're on the topic of food, another question I did want to ask you, to be fair, because I'm a foodie. Like to me, the thought of cutting weight
makes
me feel sick. Like, how do you do it, man?
Tell you,
what's the most amount of weight you've had to cut?
I ain't even gonna say it on this. To be honest, I'm not gonna say it because maybe my manager or someone get a bit ratty, but a lot, man, a lot. Yeah, like obviously now I'm a bit heavy now. I'm not massive, but I've been in some not states, but I've been like, right, I need to just slow down on the bacon and that. Go into the cafe every day.
What was your dad getting? What was your dad getting? Coronavirus on your snap?
That makes
what was
so
it?
All day breakfast, listen to this, in the can, man thought it was a mad like crisis, no food.
He thought we were going into the World War. And in the World War, bro. He thought we were going into the World War, and the first thing he thought to pick up is, I'm going to get all day breakfast in a can.
Nah, listen.
Are they nice?
Man was bringing pallets through the garden, and I was like,
pallets?
Nah, yeah, he was from Costco wherever he was going. Yeah, like obviously panic buying. Everyone's panic buying like toilet roll. He's panic buying all day breakfast. Everyone's like, what's this going on?
The shelves were full. They weren't going nowhere.
That's me, bro. Love my dad, man, but I could not believe what I was seeing, man. And do you know what? It's still in the garage, man. That ain't going off. That ain't going out of date for time.
It don't go out of date. It don't go out of date.
That's what I mean, man. Christmas in a can. Breakfast in a can.
That is.
Everything's gonna be in a can, man.
Pie in a can.
Well, yeah, cutting weight, man. Oh my god. So I'm lucky now in the pros because I've got a nutritionist and he's spot on. Like I must have been weighing like 64 kilo.
Yeah.
At the end of coronavirus, and obviously was coming back into with like fight dates and stuff like that, but like 64, I make 56. My championship weight's like 55 kilos, like 55.
Well, that's 10 kilos pretty much.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And but it soon comes off. Like what people don't realise is there's a lot of like body water. Like got a lot of like body water percentages, and He's a scientist, this guy, man.
Does it make everything just easy? Obviously, you were doing it before on your own.
Oh god.
What is that like doing it on your own? Then?
Horrible. And this is what I feel like it should be a topic talked about within amateur boxing, especially. Like, you should be shown how to do it. You're not shown how to cut weight. So when I was young,
would you just starve yourself? How would you do it?
No, not starve yourself, but like you'd just be. I remember just being on the treadmill with like a sweatsuit on for ages, you know, and you'd just be running and just thinking, I wish I could just go up a weight. But then you think, well, them boys that are in the weight above them are cutting to get to this weight, so they're twice as big as you. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing in combat sport. I think that should be discussed a lot more, for the simple fact of, you know, later on down the line, the health effects.
Is it really unhealthy then to do it?
If you're doing it right, like I've got a nutritionist and stuff like that, that's perfectly fine, I feel. But if you're doing it on your own, you're cutting silly amounts of weight with bin bags on and sauna suits skipping, like there's got to be some sort of
starving yourself and then fighting a couple of hours later.
Yeah.
Because in the amateurs, you got to make weight on the day,
exactly,
don't you?
Yeah. You know, I've had a few fights where I've gone in there and I thought, I have no energy at all.
Got nothing in the tank.
That's what I mean. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can like fight like that. Though.
The sheer grit, I think.
You got to remember, it's only it's 12 minutes if it's at the top, innit? Sorry, no. Sorry, I'm thinking about the professional game. Yeah, so
9 minutes.
9 minutes in the elites, as a senior. Yeah. Now that isn't a lot. It goes very quick. But I'm talking if you're a pro or something like that and you don't know what you're doing, and you're going into like an 8-rounder, man.
Big.
I couldn't imagine it, mate. I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, but to be fair, I heard obviously watched Joe Rogan and that, and he was talking about it on there that in one of the mixed martial arts things, I think it's one of the Chinese places that does it. Yeah. They make you like it's ONE FC. That's what it is.
Okay.
They make you when you go to weigh in. I think you have to have the water weight on. You're not allowed to cut water weight.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like whatever you weigh with your full water weight is what you.
Fat.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't. So it's sort of like people can't cheat because you're not allowed to suck the water out of you, sort of thing. So you have to stay at sort of the same weight the whole way through.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's a tricky subject to sort of talk about because some people agree, some people don't. Some people might listen and think, oh, he's got it spot on. Some people might say, you know, you got it all wrong. But a lot of it's just trial and error. You know, you don't know how your body's going to react. So, you know, if I've got a fight in a few weeks and I'm weighing, I don't know, 61 kilo and I've got to make 58, then cool. Like that's a minor cut. But if the right opportunity came and they said, right, and, you know, obviously the right financial status was there, cool. Do you know what I mean? I'll be like, cool. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest. Like, I'll be honest here. I'll be like, cool. How long have we got? And then speak to my nutritionist, my manager.
See if it's doable.
Does it with having a nutritionist and stuff like that? Obviously, from amateur to pros. Yeah. Does it start getting costly? Because obviously, I do want to touch on. Obviously, you're still working and stuff like that, which we'll get to after. But does it start getting like all?
Yeah, definitely, man. Everything sort of adds up. It's probably the same maybe with football. You know, you got to pay subs. You got to pay for your boots.
Training.
I was always thinking about his boots when he was in Barnfield and that, man. Them little Merc rules and that. He was a Merc rule boy. I remember that. I remember it as clear as day. It all adds up, man. It all adds up. So obviously you got all sorts of costs, and luckily I got sponsors to help me out to cover them costs.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh my god, you've got XYZ sponsoring you, but it's not what people think. Do you know what I mean? I still go to work and I still got to pay bills. I still got to have a livelihood because it's not until you're at a certain level of boxing that
you can sort of just up.
Yeah, sort of just cut everything out, man. And I just like say I go to work every day, bricklaying, love it to pieces. We're all just having jokes all day long.
It's like you saying, you look like you're flipping loving it on Snapchat. You're just literally rinsing each
other bad. And that's the thing. It's like it's a boys thing, isn't it? Yeah. Like you go on site, you have a laugh, and I go boxing. So it's all nuts, to be honest. Like
sounds like a real hectic lifestyle, though.
Work. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sort of like. I wouldn't be able to do that. That sounds too hectic for me.
Mate, it is mad. But someone asked me about this the other day as well. So obviously, I was at the traffic lights the other day, and someone said like, how are you still doing this? Like you're still bricklaying. You couldn't believe it, and I just said, look, sometimes you got to think to yourself, how much do you want it, man? And I was sitting at them traffic lights, and I could either go left to the motorway, and go home, or I could go right to the boxing club. And I'm tired, man. I've had a hard day on the bricks, you know what I mean? Having a good laugh, obviously, as well. Yeah, and that
takes up a lot of energy.
And then you just got to think to yourself, how much do you want it, man? Like that, literally, the road there is to go home, and that road there is to go to the box.
No, but it's not you. But it's not just like you're going to football training. You can sort of sit in the back, doss it off. You're tired. You're going to punch lumps out of each other. Sparring and stuff like that. How are you gonna? How do you wake yourself up to go and spar after having a hard day at work?
Yeah, do you know what? That's what I mean, bro. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, because I sit here, like some little punk. After leaving at like 2:30 after painting, and I'm like, nah, I can't go training, man. I can't go training now. I'm knackered, man. I need to go sleep like some little punk.
Yeah, I keep touching up on it, but I just don't know anything different, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was 11, and as soon as I left school, I was on a building site, and I was training as well.
So it's just programmed into
basically programmed into you, and
you got used to the lifestyle.
Just get used to the routine, and it's like when I come back off holiday or come back off even like with coronavirus, I was so lost without that routine and without that like programming of this is where you need to be. Like without a goal, it's like with anyone. If you haven't got a purpose, then
there's nothing to strive towards.
You know,
it's easy to stray as well, isn't it? If you haven't got like a purpose, it's easy to stray away from your focus and stuff.
That's what they say, innit? There's like a quote, like it's like. A ship in the ocean with no direction is just I don't even know what it is.
It's fucked, basically. It's fucked. What is that? What's coming out here like Joe Rogan and that?
I don't know, I forgot who I was for a minute. I swear I thought I was one of them big time players. I don't remember quotes. God. No, but honestly, the quote's something like that. I don't know what it is. If you've got Google, well, you obviously got Google. If I can search it up, it is something like that. Do you know what it is?
It's like if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up getting shipwrecked.
Yeah. I should have just asked him. We need a fourth mic.
No, for real, literally. No, I agree with that.
But you know what I mean, though,
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, a purpose.
Because that actually baffled me. I was thinking, I was ready for it.
I was. Do you know what? I feel let down actually.
You come out with that hectic.
I think it's the lights, man. I'm sitting here. I feel like a chameleon. I'm like under all these lights. Honestly, I thought I had it, and then I went to nail it, and I was like, nah, I don't know.
That's funny. That's good though. Keeping it raw.
You gotta keep it raw. Well, yeah, no, it's like I say, man. You just sometimes you gotta think how much you really want it, man.
Yeah.
Because the end goal and the rewards out of it are huge, you know. And I also look back and I think, right, I started when I was young. Yeah. Now I was training all them years, you know. Could you sacrifice your life to this sport? And that's what people don't understand. Like everything in my head is about boxing. Like I go in the shop. I know I can't buy a chocolate bar. Imagine that.
Yeah.
You know, I can't have that drink. Everything's like I can't have this, can't have that because of the end goal of being a world champion.
Yeah. Hopefully one day you'll reap all the rewards.
I think you will, man. Honestly.
And I think
this
you
little
will.
skinny boy. I'll be fat, man. I'll be small little fat dad bod.
That's probably why when they finish, like Ricky Hatton and stuff like that, they do go off the rails.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been able to do it.
Yeah,
you can't do it. Like it's so strict, isn't it?
That's it, man. That's it. It's just. It's a life that only one can experience for themselves.
Yeah,
That's literally all I can say, man. Because it's not an everyday.
It's the price of being great.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, hopefully one day. Hopefully, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think you will, man. I think with obviously your mentality's spot on,
attitude's
your
class.
vision's clear,
your
attitude's class. Like you said, like you're working flipping training, and you're fighting the fucking Terminator. Yeah, the geezer was like the Terminator.
Yeah, he just.
Did he have like a chin of stone?
Mate, he was licking him up. The geezer's like, and then just starts walking back. It's like someone got in there and revived him.
Literally.
Was it a good introduction though to the pro game? Do you think?
Do you know what?
Did it feel good?
Because he wasn't a journeyman and he wasn't a live opponent, but like at some points I thought. He knows that he knows that me and him could go for it, innit?
Yeah.
He could be dangerous.
Yeah, he could be dangerous in parts, but that's another thing I want to touch on is like I want to just say well done to all the journeymen that are out there, man, because they're giving the prospects the opportunity to
come through
for their dreams. Like, I just feel sorry for them, man. Like, they're getting out there, getting their head smashed up.
Do they know that? Do you think they know before going into the fight you're going to get battered tonight?
Nah, I don't.
Or do you think they have a mentality of I actually want to go in and try and win this? Because I've always wondered where their heads at and why they do it.
They must just be the people that love boxing but can never get to that next level, so they just box.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know.
That's what I mean. I can't imagine what goes through their heads.
I've been so concentrated on being like the best next prospect that I'm not really caring about any joke. I'm caring about myself, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you get him and me and that's it.
You're getting slayed, boy.
Yeah, legit. But that's their livelihood. And you can make half decent money out of being a journeyman, to be honest with you.
Can you really?
Yeah, you can. Like, you got to think, if they get stopped, I don't think they can box for like 28 days. So no wonder man was getting up. You know what I mean?
Your man was, even when you dropped him, it was mean. Like, it wasn't. You dropped him and then went to. I thought you were going to dig him while he's on the floor. He went to dig him when he was on the floor.
That was
Yates style. He went pure Yates style on him, man. Sneaking through the back exit.
Joe Ryan Prism.
Yeah.
Loading up.
No, honestly. But have you got a. Like, is there a goal in mind in your head when you want to stop working and just go straight for box? I know you've just turned pro and stuff like that, but is there like a goal in your head?
Like, how high do you think you're going to climb before you give up the work?
I personally think, because you've got to have realistic goals, okay? I personally think I'll become a British champion, and then anything above that will be a bonus. But I think British champion will be. That's my goal within the next 3 to 4 years. Is just hit that British champion spot. Obviously, pick up Southern area and pick up titles along the way, and basically just build my profile and do the town proud, my family, my mum proud.
Yeah. That's it. That's all you can do, isn't it?
And that's it, really. Realistically, man. Like, I've obviously got. Everyone wants to be a world champion, but sometimes you got to have that realistic goal of. After becoming a British champion,
then looking at
It's kind of like you got one big goal, but you got to do it in small steps.
You know, for me,
otherwise it probably seems too far out of reach.
Yeah, that's it. Because for me, like, there was such this big aura of, oh my god, I'm having my debut, and to me it was like, oh my god, like, I'm actually going to become a professional fighter. Like, that's my dream since day dot. Then it happens, and then now you're like, well, what's next? And then you think, right, that's it. I'm going to start looking at these fighters. Who's got this title? Who's got this title? Then that's when your career starts, because you think, I can smash him. Do you know what I mean? I know I've got the beating of him. So that's when you start looking at titles and you start building up slowly. So
that's good, man.
Yeah.
But what we're going to ask everyone, we done it with Jack last episode.
Okay.
But your most euphoric moment, like the
pinnacle so far of your career so far.
Or it don't even have to be in boxing. It can just be in anything. Like where you've sat there and thought, like, I'm at the top. Like, it could have been when you dropped him in front of 600 people. You thought, like, sort of your peak moment in life so far. It don't have to be just in boxing. Like, I used this example last time, and this is not mine. I did say last time, this is not mine. But so when we were like 16, we just snuck into Yates.
Of course, but
I'm holding the pole and I'm looking over. And Yates used to be ram out. People are hating on Yates now. It was slaying back in the day, innit? It was.
Were you in Disco Dave?
Honestly, it was popping. And I remember looking over and I'm like 16 and I was like, oh my God, like, this is the best. Just been here 6 weeks in a row. You know what I mean?
I was there.
And but that's not mine, but that's how I used to describe it, because that's just a memory that sticks in my head.
I'll be honest with you,
it's all creasing at me though.
It's mad.
I know. Come on, man.
Past Magpie. That's the most euphoric.
It's creasing, but honestly, that was like I was standing there and I'm like, I was engulfed in the moment. I'm like, fucking hell, this is so good, man.
All the flashing lights on.
Yeah, and it was busy. It weren't like Yates now, like I don't even want to say, man. It's just dead. But you know what I mean, innit?
All right, I'll be honest with you, yeah. So people don't really know this well. Like, I obviously had a little bit of time out of boxing. I was going through a proper hard time. You probably know about it.
I remember we were chatting about this.
And it was just a rough time. And a lot of people probably don't really know about it, innit? And God rest my mum. Like, she helped me through the whole of it. Self-inflicted, unfortunately. It was from being a dick, but do you know what I mean? I thought what was me having fun actually turned out to be pretty nuts. Something that I thought was never going to happen to me, innit?
Yeah.
And I stopped boxing, and at the lowest of the low, man, I was sitting in the counsellor's office, innit, and just begging her for help. And she goes to me like, "You might have to hang up the gloves, innit?" And I was literally just like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You need to focus on yourself. You need to get yourself better. You need to do X, Y, Z for a recovery process and that." So I was like, "All right, cool." Like, shut the door. I was like, "Fuck that." Yeah, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, like, because obviously I hadn't boxed, innit? I was going through a mad rough time.
Yeah, no, I
innit?
remember.
And then I went back to the boxing club, but I was still sort of training, but like I wasn't like in a fight mode.
Yeah.
Like, I was just didn't even want to be there, innit? And then from then on, I was like, right, I want to prove people wrong, because I was hearing rumors of like, he's doing this, he's doing that, and it makes you feel low, man. It makes you feel like,
I bet
I'm
it
not
hurt,
this
didn't
guy. It hurt, man, because I wasn't that person. It was like, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it wasn't me. Like, it was.
Yeah.
I had a comeback fight at Stopsy Workman's Club. Yeah,
I was there.
You was there.
Yeah.
You was there, innit?
Yeah, I was
Against
there,
that tall guy. Yeah.
And he got batted up.
Yeah, but listen, man, like, that was at Stopsy Workman's Club.
I was there.
And like, there was obviously all the boys come, because I come back after a little while out, and I remember looking at him and I was thinking, because I was overweight, innit? I was like 61 kilo.
He was big.
Massive, man.
He weren't no small. Oh,
Yeah,
he was tall.
huge.
He was big.
How tall?
Yeah.
He was much taller than him.
Listen,
he's taller.
Everyone's gonna be taller than me.
But his reach must have been.
Oh, you know, he was
ridiculous.
big.
He was big. He was massive, and
I think I got a video. I'll show you after, and I'll try and link it into the thing when you're talking about it.
just to get to that stage, to me was like, even just being in the change rooms, getting the gloves on, like, to me that was like an achievement, because I thought, like,
at one point you thought you weren't going to be able doing this again.
Yeah, like 4 months. It was a long time, but 4 months ago I was literally there thinking, I'm never going to be able to do this again. Got in there and I absolutely boxed my heart out, and I won in front of like a lot of people from Luton, and that was probably my youth. Like, obviously box in Mexico, box everywhere, ABAs and all that, but that was the top, man. Yeah, that was sick.
That's what I'm saying, man. You've dug yourself out of so many holes already. It's like nothing can knock you. Because at them sort of ages, when we're like, what, 16, 15.
Yeah.
You can go one or two ways.
You can get sucked into.
You can go one or two ways.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, especially from around Luton. There's a lot of people that were like could have been doing something special, and sort of they've just been like, sadly, like just sucked into a life. Do you know what I mean?
Because sometimes you got to think, don't be the shepherd, don't be the sheep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be a shepherd sometimes. You got to try and not inspire people, but I want to be a role model for people, where it's more like, you can do something from this town.
Yeah.
All this town's had is shit press. It's had shit, like, all the time it's just had bad things to say about it. Let's turn it around. Jack Whitworth's obviously doing this thing with Solco.
Yeah.
Jordan Reynolds doing his boxing. Tyce's doing the boxing.
Yeah.
A lot of footballers. The town's doing well with the football. Like, do you know what? Things are starting to pick up.
And that's what I'm saying. Does it make you proud at the minute to be represented? Because you're one of the people, like, obviously you got Linus as well.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you're like one of the top of the list. Like, you're a pioneer in Luton. Like, you're putting the good name on for Luton. Do you know what I mean? That's why we had to get the scarf off the boy.
Come on now, remember that.
Did you go to that game?
Yeah, it was mad. Yeah, but it's a tough world out there, and it's a tough town. When we wasn't all born with millions of pounds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're all trying to get somewhere. And the best thing about people Luton is no one's better than anyone, realistically.
Yeah.
So I just want to show, like, I come from a loving family, but I haven't come from millions of pounds. I haven't come from Luton, innit? From Farley, and I'm just a kid that likes to see his friends, have a dance, and follow
occasionally knock someone out.
Yeah, and occasionally knock someone out. You know what I mean? We're not like that. So yeah, that's it, man.
That's good.
That's good. This has been a flipping
great.
I'm amped up. I'm amped up. You know when you have them. You know when you have them conversations.
You do some pads, innit?
I might have to dust off the old gloves, man.
But that's it.
I got lost in that one actually.
I didn't. Last time I wanted to ask, obviously, Rain's behind the camera. And
Yeah.
Have you got any questions? Anything that we haven't asked that you want to touch on?
Yeah,
Big brainzilla.
yeah, obviously coming off the back end with COVID and that.
Yeah.
For me, I train every day as well,
Yeah.
and I diet. How
Okay.
do you feel like training impacts mental health, and how could people use it in their everyday life to help them with their mental problems? So I feel like training for me has helped me big time. Well,
Yeah, of course.
training for me helps me big time, keeping mentally focused,
Yeah.
keeping discipline, and like you said, I feel like with greatness comes that you have to sacrifice.
Yeah,
There has to be a sacrifice
Of course, man.
for you to proceed in life.
yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously, looking at you,
Yeah.
you've gone down the path of sacrificing things where you could be going out every weekend, getting on a
Exactly, man.
sesh,
Yeah,
hammering.
yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough. You have a blip. We're gonna have blips. That's just
Yeah,
only
yeah,
human.
of course,
But
man.
how do you reckon people could benefit from this? Who's gonna watch this podcast and feel? Well,
through
yeah.
exercise, through
Exercise, or like, how does it keep you mentally prepared? How have you thought like boxing's helped you like stay in check and like
Mate,
that discipline?
Mainly, like you say, the discipline side of things. It's more like, and the structure of, this is who I am, this is what I can become, and obviously the physical aspects of it. Obviously, you gain confidence through your how you look. And sometimes people just do it for the social side of things. Go to the gym, see your friends, talk about your problems, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, me and Nico, like, obviously he goes to the gym and that, but sometimes I'll just go there just to speak to him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get it off your chest.
Yeah. It is,
Like this, I had some mad thing this weekend. I went there just to get it off my chest because I felt like I had no one to talk to. Yeah. So yeah, like there's all sorts of things, man. Social, physical and mental well-being through going into exercise. And whether you start off small, whether you're running, I don't know, for 5 minutes, you can build up to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I say to you. It's like you when we go back to the place like goals.
Yeah.
Not setting the bar too high.
Yeah.
Maybe have a high bar, but have them little ones in between,
realistic,
and then then tick them off. Then
Yeah.
you can start
That's it.
getting into it and setting your higher bars.
That's
but
it,
yeah,
man.
man,
Because
great.
if you tick off them smaller goals, you're going to build confidence, and the more confidence you
course.
build, then the higher goal becomes more
Yeah,
realistic
yeah.
because you're feeling better about
And I
yourself.
feel like
That's it.
you have you have an understanding. Then you start to realize within yourself, oh, I do believe in myself. Because like you said, we come from a town where there's not a lot. And we do get sucked up into these little things, but people need to realise you
I'm
you
one of
need
the
to
worst at
believe in yourself.
Thank you
believe
very much.
in yourself.
That's what you got to do, bro. Yeah, you
I do.
got
That's
to.
why I love these podcasts.
Yeah.
What these boys are doing here, I think it's nuts.
You got
man.
to,
Like, I
because-
feel amped now as well. I'm
100.
I'm sitting there. I'm amped.
Yeah. But listen,
I'm only second episode in. I'm getting replaced, motherfuckers. Royston.
we get big Franks up here.
that would be so funny.
But yeah, like especially believing in yourself, because no one's gonna believe in yourself for you. Unfortunately, this is life, and I see something the other day, and it was about sometimes it's hard because you feel like people don't care yet, but you obviously care about your friends. But how often do you think, I really, really care about him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to care for yourself, but believe in yourself. Believe in your friends, but you've got to realise, like, you're one. You can only do so much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you've got to take a step back and nourish and look after yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
100%.
that's all I've got to really say
That's
about
what I'm saying,
that
man.
one,
These
innit?
chats, man, they just amp you. Like,
I'm fired up.
I'm at 100.
Yeah.
But
It's been quality.
it's good having you,
Yes,
man.
nice
I appreciate
one,
you
yeah.
coming on, man.
Nice one.
That's what I'm saying. I just
See
want to
you in
show
the Yates, yeah?
people. The 8 stays are
get
done. No, but I just wanted to get you on, man, because I want to show people, like, who you actually are. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like people don't see it, man. People don't know who you actually are, and you're an interesting person. You're a smart person. Like, you've been through a lot, and
You got a lot of character.
I'm proud of you. To be fair, man.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for doing this. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like, it's nuts. This is what we
Appreciate
need.
it.
And we need, maybe you want to get people who are doing things like in this town, but
Yeah.
even get like Joseph on and hear his story.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
people get off their chest, innit? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
They're real
man.
people as well.
Yeah,
real
that's it.
stories. You know what I mean? So it's
Exactly.
good to get them sort of
Barnpool
people.
Cops, you know what I mean?
But
Shout out
if
Barnpool Cops.
if you've got anything coming up or something, or before your next fight, just jump on.
Yeah.
There's no limit. You can just come on, say whatever. Like you said, if you've got anything on your chest, if you want to talk
You
about
wanna
your
talk
next
about
fight, you want to
something,
talk some
hit us
fucking,
up.
you
I'll
want to talk
rock up,
some
man.
trash, just come on, man.
I'll be here every week. I swear to God. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what we need.
No, I've loved having you on, man.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, appreciate it.
That's episode 2 of the Fijian Ginge. Thank you for tuning in, people.